Hi there guys, my friends on YouTube. Well, I thought we'd just take up where we left last time in the previous Bloom and Spike video in late January. Yeah, so my precious pearl, love of my life, is now fully open. Epidendrum Stamfordianum, the South American species. Excellent scent. As a matter of fact, a little bit too scented for my likings. I got a little bit allergic to it. So my eyes were all swollen. I looked like crap for a bit. So preferably move her to some other area. And not having her in the area nearby where you sleep. But she's really fragrant during morning time and daytime, the bright hours. Now she's faded a bit. It's dark outside, so she started to fade her scent a bit. So, oh, thank you for that, yeah. She usually spikes in December or January and open up her buds about 1 month later on, and she stays in bloom for 5 weeks in a row. But this is the best blooming this gal ever produced for me. So she's a reliable bloomer, and I'm so grateful that I have it and have her. I got it from Orchids, Netherlands. Orchids with a Z, I believe. Orchids .nl, Netherlands. Yeah. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'll see Magic Treat New Trick, one of my trick orchids. Should be stripes to it. Should be a pinkish background with yellow, orange-ish strikings to them. Petals and sepals. So it came, yeah, this time it came out more correctly colored than last time. And the bloom, when you looked at it at first glance, they look huge, but they are really only about 6 centimeters wide, about, yeah, a little bit more than 2 inches, so it's not really a huge bloom. And this time it only came out with one on an even better cane than it bloomed from last time, or shall we say the first time it bloomed in my possession. Yeah, more pinkish, but I will film her again in about a couple of days or 1 week, so you can see the difference. Now it's been 4 more days, and it's still pink. Background color is still pink. It wasn't pink last time it bloomed. First time it bloomed here in my care. You can see for yourself in the pop-up what color it came out last time it bloomed. So this is a funny hybrid, and its blooms looks a little bit more as described now. Just when you least expected. Isn't it always like that? No blooming, no blooming, no blooming, and still no blooming, and all of a sudden, some blooms. Always on the orchids that you had least hope and expectations on. Yeah? Let's see what it is. Bring it down from the south east facing window, intermediate bright light. Put her down into the spotlight, and it is a stuck label. Kaise Slimming. I got her from Schwerter in June 2020 as a blooming size orchid. Look, finally it's in bloom. See if I can feel. Not much of scent really, but maybe it occurs later on in the afternoon or evening even, or perhaps during night time. Its blooms are about 3-4 centimeters wide across the petals. And this little lip is really purple. So there are more details to the center of this orchid than I first expected. So, well, I'm not disappointed by its blooms. But I thought the splashes, the reddish splashes, would be a little bit deeper in color. But there are some hints of yellow to them as well. And it's a really, really bright, striking yellow center. It's gorgeous, amazing. So this is one spike, which came out from a newly produced cane, from this fat, leafless old cane. Even that one produced in my care. Let's see here. We still got a few newly produced canes, quite a lot of them, as a matter of fact. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 1, 2, 3. And this one. Number 4. So, normally they should appear during the winter period after having shed its leaves. Few of its oldest leaves, on the older canes, they turn yellow during the winter period, the colder period. And shortly afterwards we see some new growth to the middle. That's when the blooms appears, obviously. So now I have determined its growing habits, its blooming routine. Yeah, so perhaps it wasn't really a blooming size orchid when I got it, or it needed some more time to adjust. But if you read about it, this one comes from Peru area in South America, yeah, and it sheds its leaves during the winter time, and it's an intermediate grower, and it needs a nighttime drop to as low as 50 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about approximately 10 degrees Celsius. Well, I don't really think that I'm providing this guy 10 degrees Celsius, as he lives in the room where I sleep. So, yeah, it would have been a little bit too cold for me. So it doesn't really need all that drop in temperature to be able to bloom for you. Yeah, it's a vigorous grower. Something new coming out there already. Yeah, really nice one. Growing in coconut husk fiber chips in a 9 centimeter hanging basket. Not much direct sunlight, but bright light. Watered as it dries out. Yeah, almost bone dry, then I water it again. And I usually fertilize it quite heavily, so yeah. But that may be, as it always seems to be in growing stage. And RLC, Shinfong Jade, Schwerter. I had this clay orchid for 4 years, almost. And it never once bloomed for me. And, well, I think it had 12 to 18, at the maximum 24-month blooming size. Not 48 hours. No, not 48 months, really. And I wouldn't have gotten it. Oh, well, maybe I would. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is the first sheath it ever produced. And you can see her canes are getting larger and larger. I showed this one to you not long ago, and I was amazed and impressed by its latest success, fully growing, so to speak. So, this doesn't mean that it needs to come anything out from this sheath, but at least it's a start, and yeah, I simply love its blooms. I love the color. Greenish, whitish greenish mixed, yeah, frilly. So, maybe quite soon, in a year or so. Yeah. Or maybe this summer. I don't know. It's a start. This little Cattleya hybrid, lovely one, is now fading, dropped one of its blooms. But it hasn't been open more than about 2.5 weeks, so, well, maybe its next blooming will be a little bit longer, but I cannot see fading to orange this time, so I'm quite pleased. I love this color more than the orange colored blooms I got it with. So, yeah, bye-bye, baby. Nice to see you. Hope for you to bloom in a while again. Lovely scented one. Oncidium Tiny Twinkle. White. Yeah, it's white. But I thought she was overbloomed, so... But she's coming out now with a few new spikes, so that's great. Really great. The other ones seems to have lost it totally, really. Well, they are definitely overbloomed. But there will be some more. As long as I keep them, or they keep themselves healthy enough, there will be some blooms continuously blooming on these guys. And what else? Yeah, Prostechea cochleada coming out with a spike again. Not opening for this session, but indeed for the next. Next to it, the repeating orchid. Frequently occurring. Phalaenopsis joy fairy tail. This pyloric orchid. My favorite Phalaenopsis. Didn't open up for this session either. But there will be probably four blooms on this spike. And maybe it would turn out to be sequential as last time. You never know. So it's going to be a long time blooming. This one blooms for a couple of months in a row. And after finishes blooming, there will appear a new spike to the base. Immediately almost. So no long resting period for this guy. I can tell you that much. Yeah, and up here in the stand, it's the, it's the Phalaenopsis Minimark. Develops its spikes, two spikes, quite slowly, but, well, there will be a few blooms at least. A couple of weeks. You'll see it in the next session. This one. Beauty. Phalaenopsis Schilleriana. Not yet opened either. Nothing for this session really. Well, this spike is a funny spike. Came out, branched, created a little cakey looking little thingy down, to the middle where the spike branches out to this little spike. A bit behind, but well, it's going to be a funny spike and a funny blooming and a long time blooming as well. Phalaenopsis Schilleriana. On the back side of my IKEA stand, well, looking better. I say that in every video. Shame on me. But the Pholidota Chinensis, I sprayed it with leaf gloss. And its foliage looks a lot better. But there is something lurking. I mean, yeah. Although I just overbloomed a bit. I waited and waited for the last couple of buds to open up. But they didn't turn brownish until most recently, perhaps today. Wait a little bit too long to film it. But anyway, it's better. And something else is going on to it. A new spike, another one. Maybe something else. But no, I believe that at this size, for the one to the right, that one should have been in spike now. If there was going to be... and you see the little guy there, for example, in the middle, to the middle here, he's spiking. So you know from the start if there's going to be anything or not. Alright, so that's the schedule on that guy. But it's scented as well, and it's a really beautiful scent. So I look forward to see this one fully grown as a large specimen. Really. Now we switched areas. We're inside my kitchen. And here's the Psychopsis Mariposa 3-lip. I thought when it dropped its last, or shall we say latest bloom, there wouldn't be anything else coming. Any more coming. That would be it. Since I spotted a little spike down there. You saw this one in the previous video, bloom and spike video perhaps. But a little spike has only, let's see here now, there's something bad going on to this, no, good. The spike has only grown about 1 centimeter in the last couple of weeks, so it's growing really slowly. But it's still alive, so I'm thankful for that. It's my first ever produced spike on a Psychopsis in my care, so I'm quite satisfied anyway. But now I can see it's growing and blooming habit for sure and for real, and take notes on it. But anyway, this guy is going to continuously bloom, I guess, until that spike is mature. So, it's going to be a long time blooming on this guy, really. Yeah, and the one next to it is this bloom number 11, I think, in my care. I got it, as I said, in bud, this Paphiopedilum Pinocchio. And she's still producing blooms. It's really, really crazy. Oh, yeah, it's been so many months now. Yeah, it's actually been blooming since the end of May 2021. And now it's the middle of February 2022. 9 months in a row. That's a good job. That's a great achievement, really. Oh, Phalaenopsis Sanderiana in spike for the first time. I got it 1 year ago, and it had 12 months to blooming size. Yeah. How correct could it be? Really, really, really correct. So, in a couple of weeks, there we can see some blooms. White Schilleriana blooms, really. They're really similar, except for the color, to the blooms. Sanderiana and Schilleriana. And the foliages are equal, really. Mottled. It's a nice orchid, really. Little Paphiopedilum delenatii. It's pronounced. The species is still out after a little bit more than 4 weeks now. So, thank you for that. Hope you're going to be out for a couple of more weeks as well. Delenatii. Yeah. And next door neighbor, for now, Paphiopedilum Maudiae. Greenish one. Lovely orchid. Has also been out for even longer, I think. So, yeah, good blooming this time as well. And I think it's the last orchid for this little thin bloom and spike video. But there will always be 1 or 2 months which are really thin in both blooms and spikes. And you get a little bit sad, a little bit depressed, and you think that, oh, I'm not succeeding anymore. And next thing you know, all of your orchids are in bloom. So it's shifting really fast. Yeah, what's this? A bud on my recent purchase, my first ever Paphiopedilum Cardinale. So there will be some blooms. Really, really nice. It's a gorgeous plant, and even producing another fan here. So yeah, this one is fine, doing really great. And this Paphiopedilum spot. Yeah, so that one we're gonna look forward to see in a few weeks. So thank you guys all so much for watching this little spike and bloom video in early February 2022. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye bye.